That's like an episode of I Love Lucy. and like, no way was it that nice it was like the late 19th century.
Yeah,
that's when like
kids were in there back then.
That's when kids were in there, and they wouldn't let you go to the bathroom while you were working, and you just kind of had to like hold it and piss yourself.
Right?
I feel like they just put their hair up in old-timey fashion and made the picture black and white. They took this picture. This picture's from like 2 months ago.
Yeah. I know that lady. She's my neighbor.
Yeah. I see her every day. She's a real bitch. She never cleans up after her dog shit. It's always sitting on the fucking thing. We've had a whole thing.
Right? It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. What's up, Buck Newman?
Martinelli's just boldly lying about factory life
just
during
bullshit.
World War II.
Yeah.
Hey, don't fuck with our new sponsor. That's why it's there.
Also, World War II, not in the late 1800s.
We actually got sponsored
I originally
by
assumed
Martinelli's
in that
over the
factory
holidays because
commentary.
we drank so much of it.
What?
We got sponsored by Martinelli's.
No, that never happened.
Yeah, they sponsored us. They gave me 2 bottles of wine.
Well,
That's dope.
Of
tell
fake
'em-
wine.
tell
Alice
'em to fuck
Martinelli
off.
bottled
How
these
do
quarts.
I bomb this sponsorship?
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't say the word. How do I bomb this?
How do I bomb this? How do I bomb
What are you
this
trying to? Who are you
Martinelli's?
trying to be? You trying to be TJ Miller right now, making bomb threats on Martinelli's?
Ooh.
Listen, if-
You can't bomb it anyway. All attention is good attention. Isn't that what marketing's all about?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's what TJ Miller taught us with that. With that
right.
is that you can make a bomb threat if you're famous, and people will just come to see you more.
Yeah, right?
Yep, they're gonna
Push
be
your
like,
show
what'll he
back,
do
but
next?
Still be sold out.
TJ Miller, what's he gonna do next? I just imagined like the Viva La Bam intro when he jumps off the thing and he says, "What the fuck I want."
No, yeah. What a badass bunch of people. They were always like skateboarding in their parents' living room.
Yeah.
Or over their faces.
Yeah.
Or, I really did love when Bam would slap the living shit out of Phil. I don't know what weird fucking part of me just loved watching this child slap his fat father.
He'd slap the hell out of his dad, too. It was no
Dude,
joke.
I always felt so bad for him.
You did.
Like,
Someone had to.
this is his kid. His kid's just attacking him like
Yeah,
this.
you might as
want
well
Mo-
put a 20
I
on his
wanna,
palm
like-
and just
I wanna,
smash
like-
his dad in the face.
I want to send a message to Matt's oldest son and just be like, "Hey, do me this favor and do me this kindness. Set up a hidden camera, and while your dad's on the toilet, just slap the fuck out of him."
Yeah.
That's not going to work. I'll get off. I'll get off the toilet. I'll have
Just
a
dick
shit.
out, fucking.
I'll have
Yeah.
dick out shitty butthole, and I will not stand for this. I'm sorry. I refuse to be a helpless victim in my own home. All right.
That's good.
You're like that realistic dad. Like who had a dad they could even imagine slapping like that as a kid? Like,
I mean, I could imagine slapping my old man when he sat on the john like that.
yeah, it would be
They all
hilarious
kind of have
to
the
do.
same stance.
But
too.
I was just like, oh my god, my dad would tear me in half if I did that. Like,
God,
just slap your dad.
just would have loved it.
Yeah.
Would have been a real cathartic thing.
Now listen, if Mo's paying my bills at this point,
Then he
can
could slap the fuck out
he
of
can
you.
do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right?
that's the
Like,
thing.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I think that's what the deal was like, listen, we all don't have to work anymore. Like, whatever fucking shitty job Fat Phil Margera did before that show, he didn't have to do it
Can you
anymore.
imagine when Bam was pitching that? He's like, no, Dad, I'm telling you. You let me slap you in the face super hard while you're taking a shit.
Yeah.
I'll buy this house. I'll
Pretty
pay
su-
the mortgage
I'm
off.
pretty sure that one was just an avant-garde moment.
The whole premise. He's like, I don't understand. You know, like your dad's like, I don't understand what these kids
I
are
just
into.
don't get these kids
And then all of a sudden,
anymore.
what I'm into, like, pays your mortgage. You can retire. It's like, I don't get this.
I
though.
don't get this. Like, this is almost as bad as the Wi-Fi. I
Yeah,
don't understand
yeah,
how the
right.
Wi-Fi works.
And now you guys are telling me you got something called CKY? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, and
Does that give you internet?
and whatever it is turns my couch into a quarter ramp for a skateboard every so often.
Oh my god.
I'm gone
Dude,
for
when
2
they would
days.
do that and they would have like turn the house into a fucking
Yeah,
like when they put the slide we're sledding.
Yeah, right?
Could you imagine being that parent? Matt, tell me what it would be like to come home and see your house as a winter wonderland.
Well, I've come home to a lot of shit. Like,
What's
I've
the
come
worst
home-
thing your kids have let you come home to?
I mean, I've come home to them like we had a house that had an upstairs, and I've come home to them having pulled the mattress off one of their beds, and they were riding it down the stairs.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Matt's kids.
So
Matt's kids are on the right
They're
track.
cool, yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're on the right track.
They're insane. Like
I can't wait.
Mo has had the brake handle of 2 different bikes in each leg.
Wow, that's
God.
four total brake handles?
No, just 2. Just 2.
One in each leg.
One in each leg. From jumping his bike and crashing. And
I
then-
love how Buck's doing brake handle math.
Yeah.
And then he's
I don't know how many
just
holes there are.
he's just got a brake handle now, like in his
this
leg,
is a
and they have
child
to
we're
go take it
talking
out.
about, Buck.
Holden smashed his head open. Like Holden on the back of his head, he's got this huge scar because he was swinging. They were rope swinging into the river.
Yep.
And the fucking tree snapped, and he cracked his head open on a rock.
Dude, that's a gamble.
yeah.
That sounds awesome, though.
Yeah.
Like every
That
part,
is a gamble. Anytime
up to
you
your head
grab a
crack.
hold of a rope swing, like you're
Oh,
you're just asking for
Yeah.
misery. There's a picture of me on social media, like upside down on a rope swing, like with my
Yeah.
head going through the
Boldly.
water because I was too fat and the tree like just bowed, and then I went whoop, and they just flipped completely over,
Yeah.
continuing to hold on to the rope.
Oh wow.
Yep.
grip strength
You gotta
was
let
there.
go. You gotta
Yeah.
let go of the rope.
I need to get. I should have let go. I didn't want to like get just thrown into the ground though when I went over. You know what I mean? Like I wanted
Seems
to hold
reasonable.
it and like
Aren't you going into the water the whole time? Isn't the point to swing into the water?
it is.
Okay.
And
but-
you went in so epically. They're like, "Do you see Bill do that backflip off the rope?" Screaming the whole time.
Definitely
It's
never
majestic.
done that ever. I did do a backflip once in the locker room at school, and I was naked.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Did a naked backflip.
Were you naked when you
I
started?
ran up the wall.
Yeah.
God, you were
It's the
that.
only time I've ever done a backflip, and that's like the worst.
Stripped.
I
butt
think it's
naked
because
and
it was
ran up
just
the
the
wall to
worst
backflip.
stakes. Like people are sitting there like you can't do it. Don't be a pussy. And
Yeah.
like, could you imagine falling, doing a backflip, but then add the extra insult of being naked on top of it?
Yeah.
I should have known that you were the naked asshole acrobat in the locker room.
Tried
too.
to be.
Everyone in
Tried
that
to
room's
be.
like,
Everybody did though.
that's the craziest.
It
thing
was
ever.
my buddy Ray, this kid we called Berticelli. I don't really remember what his real name was. I just remember that we called him that.
Was it based on? It was just Berticelli out of left
Berticelli
field.
was like, it was a very it was a mispronunciation of what his actual
Oh,
last
probably
name
some similar
was.
letters.
Yeah,
There's probably a B and an L in there, and they're like, "Fuck it, you're Berticelli
Yeah,
now."
his name's Bella Courtney.
I don't fucking remember
yeah,
what it was.
he knows what it is.
You fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't actually. I really don't. We called him Berticelli. I think his first name was Justin. I don't remember, but I mean, so I would always. They would sit there and do the naked acrobatics, and I would be envious of the naked acrobatics. Wanted to be a naked acrobat in my own right. And
You didn't
so-
look at those people like the psychopaths that they are.
Nope. I wanted to do
Yeah.
it. I wanted
guarantee
to.
they all
I
walked
was
out of
like,
that
I
room,
was
though.
like, that's the life for me, guys. That's
For the rest of their
that's
lives,
who
like,
I
what's
wanna
the
be.
craziest thing that happened to you? They're like, one time I saw a guy stripped naked, sprint at a wall from 40 feet out.
I mean, this
Run up
was,
in a
we were
bit and then do a
already
backflip.
naked. We were already naked.
Listen.
Don't make it into something dirty.
Everyone was already naked.
Everyone was naked.
There's a
already.
room full of naked
It was a
people,
it
and
was a
Bill went,
locker
I'm going to
room.
sprint up
It was
that
a
wall
locker
and do a
room.
backflip.
We were in the locker room.
Here's-
it was
here's-
locker room hijinks.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
I hear you.
Here's the
That's what's so
craziest
epic.
shit.
That's my favorite part about it. is
Locker
the
room
setting.
talk.
Yeah, dude.
Buck. It was locker room talk.
That's what they're like. What do they do in the locker rooms? That's it.
That's
naked
it.
backflips.
Naked
Naked
backflips.
backflips.
Yeah.
Here's
That's
the-
millennial locker room talk.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of women have plants in their
Did you
restrooms.
just roll your eyes at me?
fucking every time. Every fucking time on this podcast, I try to fucking say something. Bill's goddamn loud mouth is just like, no, I've got something else to say.
Yeah.
You
I got
piece
that.
of shit.
All right,
Piece
what's
of
up?
shit. No, it's fine. It's fine.
do you
Everyone
want?
just wants to
What's
listen to you.
going
No, I was gonna say, like, there was a fucking dude in high school, like on the football team, who got butt naked. And like there was garbage cans in there for all your jerseys and shit after the game, and he'd fill it up with soap and water
Yeah.
and dump it out all over the locker room floor, and then slide across the locker room floor on his stomach, butt naked,
Baller.
Ooh,
Baller.
on the stomach.
on his stomach,
Ooh,
like on his dick. He was
Why?
Make him the captain.
Why?
Because he was crazy.
oh,
On the dick side, that's troublesome. I would be nervous
yeah.
about
That
that.
guy?
That's how you get a callus.
That guy went on to
Or
be
athlete's foot.
That guy went on to be Too
On your
Short's
dick.
personal business manager.
Really?
Is that right?
I'm not even
Mr.
fucking joking.
Mr. Too Short.
I'm not even fucking
He got
joking.
discovered sliding across the locker room.
He told so I ran into him later
Too Short had
after
just
high
never
school.
seen a callus on a tick like that.
Yeah, it's like it's so rough.
I ran into him after high school. He pulled up in a Corvette, like at the gym, and we're talking. He's like, "Yeah, I'm Too Short's personal business manager," and he's like driving a Corvette. And I'm like, "There's no way this is real because this guy's a compulsive liar. He's been a compulsive liar all through high school." I go talk to my other buddy about it. I was like, "Dude," and he's like, "No, his mom bought him that Corvette." I was like, "I fucking knew he was lying about it." And then like a year later, I run into the friend again, and he's like, he really is Too Short's personal businessman. And like I started seeing him on social media, and he was like setting up the burlesque balls like up and down the West Coast for Too Short and shit.
My.
It's fucking crazy.
Trunk full of cassette tapes still.
That dumbass used to fucking slide around on his dick in the locker room. Okay.
Dude, when I was in middle school,
I mean,
we had a
maybe
similar.
you should have done it, Matt. Maybe you could be Too Short's manager.
I don't want to be Too
That's what
Short's
it
manager.
takes. Do it right now. Soap this floor up, and
I want to be Too Short.
Too Short's already got a business manager. Dude, when I was in middle school, there was like a urban legend. I never knew who it was, but we had a shower room that no one ever used except for
Yeah.
like one kid that was fully grown at like 10, you know?
Oh.
And it was just like, wow, like he's not even ashamed
That's why he was
of being
in.
naked
That's
around
why
other
he was
people.
in there, though. Is he was just
Very
showing
confident.
you guys how fucking alpha he was.
Dude, we'd be like lined up, sweaty, like sweating through our school clothes, like waiting to go back to class, and he's just like soaping up. We're like, wow, he's taking a shower.
Did he turn? Any of you boys want to join me?
Nah, he was cool. He was one of
Okay,
us, you know.
oh, yeah.
Very chill.
That's good that he was. That's good because he could have taken that another way and been like, "You're my back soaper
No,
today."
but he would always say though that like somebody had like slid across the shower floor because we would always talk like, oh yeah, you just like use it like a slip and slide.
Yeah.
He's like, no, somebody tore their sack on the drain.
Oh,
He's like, and their testicle like unrolled. I was like, they rolled up.
unfurled?
Yeah, that's what he said. And, you know, like, hell if I know if that's any truth to that, but like my
Oh,
whole
my
life, that
Christ.
searing image has prevented me from sliding dick down across anything, really.
That's all I saw this whole time that this guy would slide across this floor is just one of the edges of that tile catching his wiener and just
Terrifying.
chopping it right off.
Just terrifying.
You imagine trying to
Why do
explain
we
that
gotta-
how you lost your dick.
I used to wear a protective cup just to use a slip and slide.
Did you? Honestly,
Very painful, actually. Terrible way to
by the way,
jump on
by
your
the way,
belly.
by the way, this is Meat Sweats and this is Buck Newman.
Hey,
yeah.
what's up?
In case you didn't know.
And anytime you say something like that, like you just have such a good delivery on it, I fucking believe you. Like 100%. I'm like, really? Tell me more about what else you wore a cup for.
Yeah, right? Throw it out real fast and keep moving. People tend to tuck it into the real file.
That's what it is.
Then 5 years later, you found out you told a lie and didn't even realize it. They're like, hey, you remember that time?
Right.
Have you used to always slide with a cup on your dick? Like, what? Where the hell did that come from? 5 years ago.
What are you talking about?
So Brian asked me, the producer Brian asked me the other day. He's like, "Hey, Buck asked if you wanted to edit all the audio." For
yeah.
And I was like, "Buck told you to do that because he didn't fucking want to ask me."
No,
and
I
here-
already
and
had-
here, go fuck
I
yourself.
was well aware, yeah. I was like, I already talked to him about it, and like, but it got brought back up, and I was like, I'm not going to stop the momentum. But I already know where this train's headed. You know?
Straight's headed to Pay Meville.
Yeah, right.
You want it? You want it done? You got to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, honestly, that stuff's just time consuming. Like, that's the reason
Oh, dude,
that
I
you
mean,
can't get it done.
no.
Yeah.
Audio editing is just you got to sit there and listen to that
Right?
shit.
Yeah, it's like I might do 10 minutes worth of work, but I got to listen to like 90 minutes worth of stuff to know where to do it. So then you just sit around playing video games and whatnot.
And then you fuck up and realize, that, oh wait, no, just ruined that. So yeah, not doing that.
No, that's
You
cool,
don't need
man.
to hear it from Brian.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Right. No, that's good. Live on air, I'd like to say I reject your request for assistance. All right, Bill, I hear you. That's fine.
I reject the request that you punted off to request from me from someone else.
Yeah. Hey, now that everyone's listening, Buck, remember that time you asked me for help? Shove
Fuck
it.
you. Anyway,
I have a signed response letter that's been notarized.
Yeah, right.
And it just says fuck you.
I got served with a letter saying the exact same thing 2 hours ago.
notarization is a weird thing.
I was a notary.
Were you? I bet you were.
I was.
Fucking
Seems
cunt.
crazy to have to pay money for it. People just drive around notarizing stuff.
You don't have to
Yeah.
pay money for it.
Well, no, but people can charge money
I
for
mean,
it.
people do
because
and
it's
those
convenient.
people are
Yeah,
creeps.
They're not creeps.
They're creeps.
How dare you?
they're busy. Their
It's a
time's
way
more
to make
valuable
money.
than the trip to the bank.
It's a way to make money.
Just go to the bank.
Yeah. But if someone
I don't
doesn't
actually
wanna
have
go
a
to the
bank I can go to right now.
You don't have a bank you can go to?
No, I'm wanted for
bankless?
armed robbery. If I go into any bank, they're going to be like, "That's that guy. We've all been looking at his picture."
They've all got it behind the desk. They're just waiting there with that picture and that button.
Right?
You're like, that's there. What would you be? What, would you have like a calling card if you were a robber? What's the Buck Newman?
My
robbery
calling card, if I had one, I would probably leave a banana peel as I exited. Just like, don't try to follow me. And then I'd drop a banana peel right at the entrance. Just to emphasize
This guy
my
must have been a big
seriousness.
fan
you
of
know?
Carrot Top. Oh my god!
How about you? You got a calling card?
If I was a bird, I mean, I'm too Joe Pesci-esque, so I'd be a sticky bandit.
Yeah, right. I'm taking everybody's shit.
Yeah.
Give me the watches too. All of you take your
Just gonna
watches
put-
off.
Just gonna put Gorilla Glue on my hands, let it dry as I pickpocket people. Yeah,
You get caught with your hand
there'd
on
be
the
a lot
door.
of hair.
They'd be like, the glue
It
dried.
wouldn't work actually.
There would
now
just
that
be
I think about it.
There would just be beard
just-
hair wherever
Yeah,
I was.
they'd be like, "Hey, thanks for covering your hands in glue. You're holding all the evidence we'll need to put you away for a long
If you ever
time."
wanted to be a professional criminal, like you would have to wear a beard net.
Oh yeah, you'd have to. You can't go out like that.
if I was going to be a professional criminal, I would be completely hairless. I'd have no fingerprints.
Right?
You
You'd
know?
look real creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be real weird.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about you as like a mutant with
Yeah.
no hair and no eyebrows.
Yeah.
Just like Cancer Matt.
Yeah, Cancer Matt.
Cancer Matt could. Yeah.
That's the Cancer Bandit.
The Cancer Bandit could walk right
Cancer
up to people and that he's known his whole life. They'd be like, "Nah, Matt Walker had hair.
Yeah.
This dude ain't got no hair."
I don't know.
This is the Cancer Bandit.
I don't know who this fucking cancerous
Wouldn't it be
motherfucker
fucking
is.
crazy? Like we just uncovered his secret life.
Yeah.
Like he's actually been robbing banks as the Cancer Bandit, and that's just all fucking like a weave.
Oh yeah.
Remember that time-
I'm
Hollywood is-
accusing you of having a beard weave right now.
Remember when I was talking
weave.
about shaving my beard and hair and making a wig out of it?
Oh,
I did
you
it.
did it!
I did it. Look how good it looks.
How do you get the hair to keep growing? I don't get that.
I just keep adding a
Is it
little
like
more.
a chia? Is it like a chia pet?
I just keep adding a little more. Okay.
Do you guys ever have a chia pet?
No.
No. Do you have a chia
I don't know.
pet?
I think I saw one maybe one time.
I did see someone else get one time.
They're the fucking worst thing ever.
You had one?
Yeah, they were the messiest, grossest thing ever.
Yeah.
And I could never ever get it to not look like George Costanza's hair pattern.
What's messy about it?
It's just like because you have to like sit there and put the dirt on it, and then it like when it doesn't grow, it just gets dry and falls off.
Oh, right,
And
right.
so it's just like fucking like shit's dying, and there's just dirt falling off of this fucking dumb.
I feel like you didn't know how to grow a chia.
Yeah. I wish we had a
My
reference.
mom didn't help me like she said she was gonna. It's a point of contention from my childhood. Fuck yourself, Matt.
Do you want to know? Oh,
Yes,
man.
I had a chia pet. It was illustrious and so easy to care for, and the tidiest thing I've ever seen.
Fucking hate
My
you
mom
guys.
thanked me every day.
She was like, "Oh, Buck, I thought I would spend so much time
Yeah.
helping you."
She definitely wasn't like, "You bringing dirt in the house?"
What? Fucking hated that dumb thing. Chia pets were stupid. Anything you could buy from the back of a boy's life was dumb. Except for that hovercraft thing.
What is a boy's life?
You never had a boy's life? Do you ever get boy's life?
No, I don't know that I do know that one.
Boy's life was like
Sounds like something
It was like a-
50-year-old fucking
No.
weirdos are jerking off
Boy's
to.
life was like a Boy Scouts.
Yeah,
magazine.
Pretty accurate to what I just said.
Right, yeah.
I guess it might
How's
have
that
been. Oh god. Anyway, at the back of every boy's life were like these fucking like old timey ads for dumb boy shit. Like you get like fucking firecrackers.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
little
right.
Pull apart firecrackers.
Would
or-
you say that's the sweet spot?
they had this?
Pow.
They had these plans for a hovercraft that you could buy for like $20. They
A
had
$20 hovercraft in the 90s.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They were just plans.
Right?
Plans.
Oh, you got to make your own
You
hovercraft.
make your own. I'm pretty sure it involved like stealing at least a neighborhood's worth of vacuum cleaners.
A couple of the components are very difficult to find.
You're gonna have to break into a facility to get some plutonium. Do you remember how easy you would think it was to get plutonium back in the day?
Seemed like it'd be prevalent, but yeah.
So many movies.
was
So
a
many movies
well-
where a guy just who's like, oh, I can just steal this pass and sneak in and get some plutonium.
Yeah, yeah.
So many goddamn
The labs that
movies.
had it were just like local.
Yeah,
They were never
they-
like, I have to travel to a different state to get to where they house it.
No, they just have it here.
Yeah.
This is our local.
Let's ride our bikes
local-
to the place with plutonium.
This is
It
the
was
local
always-
plutonium market.
yeah.
It was always in like a strip mall.
It's free
Right.
range plutonium.
It's like, what does the front of that strip mall have razor wire?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where they keep the plutonium, honey. Oh, good to know.
Fair enough, yeah.
Good to know.
Next to Wigs USA.
Waits
yeah.
USA.
In a card shop that's definitely a front for drugs.
Dude, all right. How do these things stay open? Card shops.
Card shop? What's a card
That's
shop?
a good question. I've
Like-
never had an answer for
Like
that.
trading card shops or
Whoa. Like the baseball
Or even
ones,
Hallmarks.
or-
Yeah,
Like
right.
any cards.
yeah. There was a dude back in Lima where I grew up. His name was, I want to say it was like Murph or something like that. And he was this old guy that had a card shop right next to this bakery that we would ride our bikes to. And we would just like go in there and look at the cards and he would trade stuff. Like it almost seemed like he didn't care. He had penny candy.
He probably
where you
lived
could just
there.
give him like 6 pennies. But like in the 90s when it was like, you know,
Yeah.
penny candy. And this
Yeah.
dude would just like trade cards with kids. Not in like a weird, there was never like a sexual undertone or anything. You know, it was like he would just hang out.
Yeah.
Seemed like he
I'm
just
pretty
had
sure
the shop.
everybody that
like I
has
don't make
that
any
store
money
has a
here. There's
sexual
no way I
undertone.
could make money here.
These baseball
That's
cards?
why you
These
do it. Is
Magic
because
the
it's a
Gathering
front
cards?
for pedophilia.
Yeah,
That's it's just a labor. Of
I mean,
love.
my guard was up even at 10, but you know, he seemed like a good guy. He was just hanging out.
I
He was like,
mean-
it's nice. I get to talk about baseball cards.
I feel like if he was gonna molest anyone, he totally would have molested you.
No,
You're
I was so
adorable.
charming.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you got a face. You got a face to be touched.
He saw the prices I was offering for those cards. So he's like, this kid ain't got no money. I'm trying to marry up, you know?
I molest up, thank you.
Coming in here trying to trade me garbage for a Damon Stoudemire
Can
rookie.
someone pass me that Martinelli's?
Oh, gold medal stuff.
Yeah,
Excellent
Yeah,
choice.
It's actually pretty good. That's what's.
I know it's nice.
It's actually kind of tasty.
Listen,
It's refreshing, Matthew.
bubbly juice.
We're sponsored Martinelli's.
Bubbly juice.
Yeah, right. Matt declined the Martinelli.
I did, because I'm not getting any taste of this sponsorship, so Martinelli's can go fuck themselves,
Well, you know,
as far as I'm concerned.
they probably will
If they
in
want
their mansions because they own a distillery.
they're not distilling anything. That's
mean,
not distilled.
yeah,
There's
it's-
nothing distilled in there, Bill.
Maybe
There's
a little,
not.
just
There's
a little bit.
No.
Just
You're
partially.
confident they didn't distill anything? Even maybe they
Nothing.
just maybe they distilled stuff nearby and some
maybe,
dribbled in.
Maybe, yeah.
That's not distilled.
That's how 90% of pro athletes have testosterone in their system, like steroids, is that something else just caused it to get in there.
Like
Sometimes you're
Martinelli.
so fucking dumb. I can't.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was clearly being sarcastic.
I'm
and
sorry.
Made a bad reference.
I'm
He
sorry.
did. He had the
Fucking
sarcastic
I'm
light
sorry.
illuminated here in the
Sorry.
dining
Yeah, I
studio.
turned the sarcasm light on.
Yeah,
There's
clear as day.
There's a camera. You dumb piece of shit.
Is that
There's
true?
a camera. How dare you?
The light's right behind the camera,
dare
obviously. The one place the camera couldn't see it. That's where we always put it.
So where you been lately? Like you have been traveling with the
All around the
Broken
world.
Drift
Yo, yeah, on the Ramblin' Van.
production. Where have you guys been going to?
The last trip I was on, we strolled through West Texas to Austin, and then I left for the Cleveland Comedy Festival, Memphis, Tennessee,
Oh wow.
and then we drove back through Albuquerque and then back home. But then I kind of went underground for the holidays. I took some time off from the Ramblin' Van, and they went on to San Francisco and Sacramento, and they're doing showcase shows for like
awesome.
talent scouting, basically for
That's
San
awesome.
Diego Comedy
super
Festival,
awesome.
Big Pine Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so it's still out and about. But I think the cold weather's hard with the RV.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find a place to park it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're gonna wait for the warmer months and then head back out on the road in the summertime or something like that.
That's probably smart.
Yeah, Yeah, dude, it's rough. They say if like the tanks freeze and you split them, like
Oh yeah, they're
forget it, man.
no, and that's expensive to replace too.
Yeah,
Like those black water and gray water
Are
tanks.
That's what
not
they
that
said.
Well insulated.
No, it's just that I mean they're gonna freeze if they're below freezing, you know, and it's
Yeah, they
have
heat tape.
heaters, but if you're gonna run the heater, then you can't like you barely do it off the generator. It's not enough. They take a lot of juice.
So you gotta have.
You gotta be plugged in.
basically we got to
then you
plug
plug
in,
it
or
in,
we'd have to refill the propane tank like an unreasonable amount of times. And so then we're fine. And we didn't anticipate this, but we're finding that. Like the RV parks that are in every city that we want to go to, they're like, no, we got pipes above ground, and so we just shut it down in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And so it's like there are still places you can park, but you can't get into spots with electrical hookups.
Yeah.
And if you can't get into an electrical hookup, then you're risking destroying the RV's usability, which is all like, oh, damn, we thought we were going to travel around the country for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a summer thing.
Yeah.
you know? Or you
it's
gotta
so great in the summer, though.
Or you got to stay in the southern states where
Right.
they're not getting snow, they're not going below, you know.
Yeah. And honestly, that's not a
30-something
bad
degrees.
place to go travel through, man.
No,
Get some good
I mean,
food down there, hang out.
Austin, dude. I haven't never been to Austin. Like I've been there, but I've never been out of the airport.
Right, right.
You know, like how many places?
Oh,
you've
you got to
been where
see
you've
outside
been
of the
there
airport.
Oh, quite a
and
bit.
That's where all the
you've never
best
been out of
stuff
the
is.
Yeah,
Outside the airport, usually they keep the best stuff.
Every
there.
city I've been to,
Why
here's
don't
the
they
tip.
keep any
Get
good
outside of
things
the
in
airport.
the airport? Like, give you something like nice. Like I don't know, like put an airport by like Devil's Tower
I
in
like
Wyoming.
airports.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like about
Put
it?
an airport on top of Devil's Tower.
I like
Fuck yeah.
traveling. I like traveling. I like airports. I like going to the bookstore in the airport, finding a new book.
Yeah.
reading it there. I
Right?
just like the whole thing. Here's the thing. Like, when I was a kid, like, I was in a cult, and then my grandparents lived in fucking Washington, D.C., and they had a lot of money. And so whenever I was getting on an airplane, it meant I was going somewhere to be like living a good
right.
life from
Yep,
living living in complete and total poverty to living like a king for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
So the whole travel thing, I was always into it.
Right.
I was always like, this is so much better than my house.
Yeah, right. Anywhere but here.
Anywhere but where I have to live on a regular basis.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
I can see that. Plus, they got moving sidewalks.
The moving sidewalks, man. From a boy on a dirt road to a moving sidewalk.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, fantastic.
My first encounter with a moving sidewalk, I was like, thankfully I've seen enough television to know you're supposed to walk on this one. I don't know why it's different than the escalator, which we all clearly stand on.
I mean,
This
I
one's
walk
for
the
moving.
escalator. You don't walk the escalator?
Me?
Yeah.
No, honestly, I don't really.
I get behind
see
those
people
motherfuckers.
walking
I'm
the
like, hey, I
escalator.
got places to be. This is just a quicker way to do it.
I sometimes will walk the escalator, but not
Yeah.
often.
I like it.
I'll walk up the stairs
Makes
next
me
to
feel
the
like
escalator.
I'm super fast.
If they have stairs right next to it, I usually take the stairs.
I do that too, just to
But
make
not
the people
walking on
on
an
the
escalator.
elevator feel bad.
Yeah.
Do you really make
I try to quicken my pace, so I'm
I
like, if
just-
I go faster than the escalator.
Yeah, I try to be like, no, I'm better than you.
You don't think they're looking at you being like, look at this dumb idiot
Nope,
wasting
I'm
energy
better
over
Guy's
than
here.
sprinting up the stairs.
I'm better than you.
I'm just eating ice cream over here.
Yep. Piece of shit.
But then they get on the moving sidewalk. Everybody's like, if you don't move, you're a piece of shit.
Yep.
You know, they're
That's
mad
true.
at you if you're not walking on the moving sidewalk.
Yeah. I like walking on the moving sidewalk because you feel like you're going so fast.
Yeah, it does.
That's
man.
why I like walking on an elevator. Or escalator.
Yeah.
When,
I don't feel like
I
you're
like
going.
walking. I do like walking on elevators too, just back and forth.
Yeah, just real quick.
Just
People are like,
strut real
"Is that guy
creepy."
I
insane?
just strut.
That is
Did that
real
guy just get
creepy.
naked and do a backflip in the elevator?
Why is
Get
this guy
naked and do a
dancing?
backflip.
Why is this guy dancing on the elevator
Yeah,
again?
right?
Every time.
I would love to be on an elevator where just a complete stranger just broke out.
Just starts doing a flash dance.
Yeah.
At work, I have a 4-story building and I'm all the way up at the top.
Yeah.
So anytime anyone gets in the elevator to go to the second floor, it's so irritating. It makes me so fucking angry. But then I sit there and I'm like, why am I so angry? This is not logical.
Right, right.
This whole thing was built just to take people between floors. They're using it for its purpose.
Yeah.
Who am I to judge this person? But then again, they're fat asses.
Yeah.
And they probably should walk up the one flight of stairs.
Right? It would do you some good. Come
Oh,
on. Save your knees.
Some dude this morning got on fucking wearing douchey fucking tight fitting suit with fucking no socks on his shoes. It's like, put some socks on, bro, so you can walk up the fucking stairs.
Yeah.
He might have had no shows.
Nah, he was a no sock kind of guy.
No.
He was
I don't
absolutely.
like wearing socks. So
With
with not wearing
shoes?
socks.
But do you still do it?
Yeah,
Man.
You got to wear socks with
I
shoes.
do. I do wear socks a lot.
Here's what it is for me.
Don't like wearing them,
Yeah, prefer not to.
but my
It's-
shoes stink.
It's the
if I don't.
stinky foot
Yeah.
factor.
yeah, it tears your shoes up fast.
It does tear your shoes up faster too.
Quick.
Way
well,
faster.
like within a week, you're gonna have nasty feet.
I love it when anybody passes the camera, they try to duck, but they never. It's like, yeah, you can duck, but like you just look dumb when you do it, as opposed to because you're not out of the shot.
Right,
You
yeah.
never can duck that
Hey,
low.
that person ducked slightly before obstructing my view entirely.
Dev,
usually just-
Dev just walk by that camera with all the pride that you carry as a human.
They usually just duck enough to get their head right in their shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're doing. They're just photobombing.
Yeah, they just go
Right.
by like, hey.
Hey guys,
Throwing up gang signs.
live here.
Yeah. You recognize the faces.
So you kind of took the holidays off. We had fun at the sauerkraut
Oh
ball.
my God.
Oh, the sauerkraut ball
God, we gotta talk
5000.
about that.
Yeah, that's a good old party,
That's
man.
a great party. You're a fantastic host.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you.
That was one of the best times.
You're fantastic guests.
Well, it was great that like I love. You can always tell a good host because a good host can delegate his friends into doing shit
Yeah.
for them to help the party be better, and you did that flawlessly.
Yeah, dude, you guys came out, and I was like, I could use a little help getting this fryer going, or it might be 5 p.m. before we start eating shit.
Oh man!
And
Those
then all of a sudden, I was
balls-
like, you guys are getting into it.
Those
I had
balls
to
were
coming in
great.
asking for stuff. I'm like,
those balls were so good.
yes, the sauerkraut balls are fantastic.
What do you? Can you divulge a slight
Oh
recipe?
yeah, I'll tell you, 'cause it's the proportions plus the amount of love, which is a trade secret that really distinguishes them. But it's sauerkraut and cream cheese, sausage, and then some parsley and some seasoning and whatnot, and then roll it up and bread it, and then deep fry that.
Yeah.
And it's like the size of a golf ball. And I
Guys.
like to toss it in a little yellow mustard. 'Cause I'm not, I'm not into the
The,
brown mustard. It's not
The
my
yellow
deal.
mustard was good. I like the brown mustard too.
Yeah,
yellow
and we
mustard,
had
brown
both.
mustard.
You're
Yeah.
welcome
The,
to.
the yellow mustard was a good addition.
Yellow mustard was fantastic.
Oh, it kicks ass, man. Yeah.
Honestly, like we're talking about these things, and my fucking mouth is—I shit you not. I'm being 100% real. My mouth is watering.
Dude,
thinking
My
of
mouth
those.
is also
Right out of the
watering.
fryer.
They
It
were
was
so
unbelievable.
good. And then you deep fried everything.
Oh
It's a
yeah, and
fryer
after that it was
party.
just a free for all. That's when
God,
people
that was
really
so
get
fun.
into it.
That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
I tried to do a bloomin' onion. I failed miserably.
Yeah,
not bad.
I mean, we got
Yeah.
it cooked, but yeah, we'll have to.
Sheesh.
But that's what's fun about it too. Is like we just like people are always like, "Can you deep fry a Twinkie?" I'm like, "Hell if I know."
I
but,
did it.
Let's try some shit out.
Definitely
you know?
did it. First one looked like a real fucking turd.
Yeah, dude, you know that one that looked all turdy? Like it sat there, and then like later in the night, I was just like kind of cleaning up the house after everyone left. It was like the only thing left, and I was like, I might just smoke some weed and eat this malformed like puddle of Twinkie. It was so good.
Oh yeah.
Like it looks
God, if
monstrous.
if
but-
you haven't had a deep fried Twinkie, get
oh
your
my god!
get
So-
your hands on
and that
one
one
of
I think
those.
was like we threw like the first 3 tests that didn't go well in a pile.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 Twinkies just
Yeah.
kind of lumped up into this big
There
thing.
there was
They
the
looked
Twinkies went rough right away because they kept on when I tried to turn them. Remember how they would get like all mushroomy?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like they wouldn't they wouldn't stay together and they blow out and then the oil would go around the batter.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Dude, it's kind of fun to see what happens to stuff in there too. Like you got to be careful with
Oh,
hot
yeah.
oil, but
Oh,
Yeah?
you definitely
some of
gotta
that
be
stuff
careful
it's
with
like,
hot
oh
oil.
man,
Fuck, I was making dinner for Tiff last night for our birthday, and she wanted Swedish meatballs. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I've never made it. I figured it out. Like, how to
Okay.
do it. And like, so I'm doing 15 things at once, and I put the cast iron skillet on the stove, and I turn it up, and I don't realize how long it's been sitting there, and I dump a bunch of oil into it.
Right.
And it was too fucking hot.
Ugh.
And that oil fucking smoked so bad. Filled up 2 stories of the house like there was a fucking fire.
yeah, it goes bad fast.
Oh, God damn it, dude. It took me 45 minutes to clear smoke out of the fucking
That's why
house
I don't
as I
cook,
was trying to cook
because
dinner.
shit like
Yeah.
that happens to
That's
me.
definitely
Yeah.
the downside. When you're eating the food, you're like, I should do this more often, and then you have to clean it up, and you're like, I'm never doing this
I
again.
hate the cleanup.
I barely eat after I cook, too. Like,
Yeah.
I spent...
You're like tired and you're like, I just don't want. I'm just.
Yeah,
this
I'll
is
have a
fine.
bit.
I just don't want it.
just don't
I ate a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like put it all pretty
Was it
much
good?
back in the fridge. Oh, it was fucking awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's mine?
I left it at home for Tiff because it's her favorite
right,
thing.
all right,
So
all
sorry,
right,
buddy. You know what? I was gonna bring you some chicken. I made some chicken tacos over the weekend. I was gonna bring it, but I
Wow.
forgot. Sorry, buddy.
He's a real.
You just got a whole bunch of food sitting in your house, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, when the kids come over,
got
I
kids.
fucking cook.
Yeah.
And when they don't come over, I buy food from other places.
Yeah.
he's good at cooking.
Places that my kids would love to eat at.
Some of the best pork
Exactly.
carnitas I've ever eaten, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, those were
are
good.
so good.
Yeah. I needed to do that
Again, mouth watering. I need to eat. I'm hungry.
Maybe you're just hungry.
Just
Maybe that's why
hungry.
your mouth is
I'm
watering.
just hungry. This Martinelli's is getting me a little saucy.
Yeah, just the taste of apple makes me wish I was eating something.
Yep. Just makes me want to bite down. Is that what this is? Is it apple? It is apple.
Apple and cranberry, they plopped in there.
Motherfucker.
100% juice.
Wow.
Gonna get rid of a kidney stone with this shit.
Yeah.
This is bubbly kidney stone removal.
I don't think
You
that's
ever
how
had a kidney
I
stone?
don't think that's how you get
It's
rid
like
of kidney
scrubbing
stones.
bubbles for
It's
kidney
not-
stones.
Yeah.
I think kidney stones only come out one way.
They scrub your kidneys so the doctor doesn't have to.
They come out one painful way.
Yeah, I've cut enough weight to where I've had a couple stones, and they're
Yeah.
not fun.
How
You get them by cutting weight?
You get like when you exsanguinate yourself a lot, you get dehydrated a lot.
Exsanguinate yourself?
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard that term before.
that's
That's just dehydrating?
yeah. That's like removing all the water from yourself.
Just
That
say
sounds so reckless
dehydrating.
when you just say it. Like, the opposite of that.
Anyway,
hydrating.
Go
Oh,
fuck
that's
yourself, guys.
Sensical.
I'm sorry I used
Wouldn't
that
that
word.
be
I'm sorry I used I used a $5 word that I don't have the money to pay for.
Listen,
No, it's cool. I learned a new word.
I can loan you some of my student debt if you want.
I'm good.
Like I can just sign over half of
No,
it.
no, that means I'd actually have to rejoin the actual workforce as opposed to the fake workforce that I do.
I like that you work for the fake workforce. I wish I could work for the fake workforce.
It's great.
Oh, anybody can.
I mean, you
all you
can.
have to do is have time. Yeah. You know, it's the thing that most people don't have.
Download the app, dog.
Yeah. Just be available.
Yep.
Yeah. I wish I was able to be available.
Honestly, if I do get another job this year, that's like I'm trying to hold out and not get another job this year.
Yeah.
But right now, it's like fuck.
That was
money's
the
a
balance,
cruncher.
man. Yeah, like
Money's
steady
a
money
cruncher.
is so helpful.
It is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's pretty nice to be
Because I
free.
could go back and do like I would really like to go back and take care of special needs people during the day. That was a
Right,
lot
right.
of fun. And I mean, who doesn't love a job you can get high at and like
Right?
perform better?
Yeah. It's probably every job except
Dude,
for surgeons.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Maybe,
depends on
though.
the surgeon.
I mean, honestly, if they do it.
Depends on the surgeon. Maybe this guy went through med school just crushing Adderall. Now he's graduated to meth and nose lifts.
Yeah.
You know, like
I wouldn't want my surgeon on meth.
maybe
That
co-
seems
all right,
like
coke,
you get shaky,
coke.
though, you know? I don't
I feel
remember
like
getting
just
shaky
going-
on weed.
I feel like you'd get real jokery if your
People-
fucking surgeon was
Right,
on
so
meth.
serious.
You just remember like an old SNL sketch with like the blood gag spraying everywhere. You're like, oh, I remember this Julia Childs. Hey, that's my uncle.
Jesus Christ.
So, what is the fuck was I gonna say?
I don't know.
That's the problem with getting high. Is like, you know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have questions to ask. We're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna
we'll talk about some
things.
stuff.
We're gonna get all into Buck Newman,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get high and I'm just
what
like, let's,
makes Buck tick?
yeah,
All types of stuff, man.
Buck. You want to know a fun fact about Buck?
Tell me a fun fact about Buck.
Fun fact about Buck is he had a combination lock that he spent how many months?
Oh, I would say 3 months off and on though, non-consecutive.
3
Yeah.
months trying to figure out the
Yeah.
combination
Yeah.
to it, and he ultimately did.
I got a strong box, like one of those that you put like if you're selling your house or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna put a set of house keys in this thing so I don't ever get locked out, you know. And then I do, and I get locked out, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go to that strong box. I'm way ahead.
Yeah.
And I just try like 15 different combinations. I'm like, I have no idea what the combination is for this thing. I've just given it every 4-digit number of any meaning to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting in. So now I'm locked out of the house. And then don't remember how I did get in the house, to be honest. I think maybe my wife just came home like at a reasonable time, caught me out kind of like swearing in the backyard. Like, that's super uncommon, but she's usually like, what's happening this time? And so we go in the house, and then I'm like, fuck, that's gonna drive me crazy. Like, I should know that combination.
Yeah.
And then I just picked it. Like, over time, I just tried like every combination and then struck gold, but it took me like 3 months to get there.
Did it end up being like a number that you're like, oh, I should have known?
Oh yeah.
that?
As soon as I saw the number, I was like, oh, fucking damn it.
God damn it.
Really?
Yeah. It just popped back. I was like, I never really would have thought about that. And what it was, like, I thought of a number that would be, I was like, I'm trying to pick something that's easier for my wife to remember because she'll forget.
Yeah.
And then, like, she forgot, I guess. She definitely didn't know it. And then I was like, shit, I forgot about that number. It's important to her and not me.
Fuck.
That's
And it was like something to do with like getting into her phone or
but still, though,
something like that.
3 fucking months. He was patient.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and deliberate.
meticulous.
I appreciate that.
I was like, I'm gonna just try and crack this lock. You know, it's like solving a puzzle.
We did a scavenger hunt once, which if you've never done a scavenger hunt, you fucking have to.
Oh,
do a
yeah.
scavenger
Who hasn't
hunt.
done a scavenger?
Super fun.
I'm just saying, like as an adult, I hadn't done one as an
You
adult.
can't believe how much fun it is.
Holy
Yeah.
I
shit.
guess I don't know when the last time I did one was.
As a kid, I'd done them and I didn't like them, and I was like kind of hesitant about doing it as an adult. Then I did it as an adult and realized other adults do it too, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, right.
And people will let you get away with anything. Anything that you want. If you only say, this is for a
You
scavenger
sound a
hunt.
little too excited when you say
Oh,
that.
dude, I watched it in
I
action.
bounced in a kid's bounce house.
Yeah.
That was at his parents' house for his birthday. And we pulled up and I got out and I said, listen. And it was a giant family of Mexican people. Like,
Didn't feel like English was their best language either.
No.
And they were still like, absolutely.
so we came up.
Sure.
We came up and I go, we're on a scavenger hunt. And one of the things is to bounce in the bounce house for 10 seconds on video. Can we do that? And they bring me like 3 different people that I have to repeat this to.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right. Like, we're not explaining it well.
And each time I explain it, there's this one fat old lady sitting at a table, like drinking and eating chicken wings, laughing hysterically at me.
Yeah.
Just every time I re-explain it. And I swear to God, they were just like bringing people up, like, is this fucking guy
Yeah, right?
serious?
He's gonna say this. I swear to God.
Hold on. Watch. Let's say it.
Yeah.
So then they clear all the kids out of the bounce house.
Yeah.
Man. And I swear to God, it was the worst bouncing in a bounce house I've ever done ever.
Because of all the pressure.
Because all the pressure and all the pressure that the bounce house couldn't take from my fat ass.
Yeah.
And every time I jumped, it got a little saggier,
God.
and I just kept on saying, "I'm killing it! I'm killing
And didn't
it!"
you have a fake cast on too when you were in
I
there?
did have a fake cast on.
Yeah.
I'm
Dude,
pretty sure
maybe
I was
beat
still.
up.
Was I
Like-
still in the American flag?
Yeah, I think you were in the out. Well, maybe not. We were going back to headquarters.
Yep. That was a crazy. I got in we went to Christopher Royer's apartment.
Yeah.
'Cause he has a hot tub and it's
Yeah.
like right here. And one of the things was to videotape yourself in a hot tub with another member of your team throwing vegetables in it. Like
Yeah,
they're
the
cooking
classic
you.
soup
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at fucking Royer's place, and I go get in I'm in my American flag, old timey bathing costume.
Yeah.
And I get in the hot tub, and there's 2 women there. I was like, "Hey, listen, we're doing a scavenger hunt, and they're gonna throw vegetables at me. Is that cool?" And they're like, "Fuck yeah!" And this one chick like grabs one of the
were
carrots they
into
throw
it.
in and
Yeah.
like eats it.
Oh, God.
Ate like 3 of them. I was like, you sure do like
He's like,
carrots.
yeah, this I'm pretty
She's like,
sure.
I do.
Pretty
You
sure.
like hot tub carrots.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a tummy ache from that.
Yeah. I was like, that's a bold move.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
man.
been chlorine and pee sucked into that carrot.
So
Yeah.
much cum. So much cum
It
in that
feels in there
carrot.
like a pink thong or something like that.
Oh no, that was after. So after.
Oh, that's right. That was in there. They
I
didn't
had
know
the,
it yet.
I had the pink thong on. The pink thong was from another challenge.
Yeah.
And I just left it on.
and he liked it, so he
I,
kept
I
it.
did like it. It's in my underwear drawer. Pull it out for special
You
occasions.
earned it, buddy.
Saving that for later.
Yeah.
So
my back
the
flips.
very next challenge, we had baked a cake for this challenge. Literally baked a cake.
Yep.
And brought this cake over to Royers, and it was you have to sit on a cake. You have to you have to video yourself sitting in a cake. And so we made a cake, and then I fucking take the bathing costume down.
Yeah.
And I have my man thong, it wasn't a man thong, it was a chick thong.
Yeah.
Women's
It
underwear.
was women's underwear.
Yeah,
hot pink.
it was
And saucy.
so
Saucy.
the two women that were still in the hot tub are just like fucking hooting and just going crazy. It was like I felt honestly catcalled.
Yeah.
And it was a good
We were
feeling.
like-
It was a good feeling.
Yeah.
It was like 10 feet away. And none of us remembered that they would be there. I
Yeah.
think.
No,
All of a
I
sudden
just
they start
we were just like,
catcalling.
all right, we're gonna do that right
Stare
now.
like 10 feet from Bill's ass in a hot pink thong.
That's amazing.
They loved it. I did like one of those like side come up your leg numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they
Real
watched him
saucy.
walk over and sit on a chocolate cake.
At first, we tried to have Buck hold it like he was like a chair, and it was like sitting on to Buck.
Yeah.
I bring that up because there was like a couple questions on it where they were in code, and Buck had like you were kind of you were having a rough start to that because you had a bunch of shit going on.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. And then he started like just code breaking, and Buck came alive.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
I was into it.
You're a code breaker.
Yeah,
What
I
was
don't
the
remember
first
what
one?
I had that day. It was like something weird shit, and I was just like flustered that I had so much stuff to do before just relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, I'm starting to solve this puzzle now. And then I was like, oh, wing dings. Oh my God, I'm getting on Bill's computer.
Luckily, I had windings.
Yeah, right?
I used to take shit apart.
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
Me too.
Like whatever. Like I would just be bored lying around, and I would find whatever was lying around me.
Yeah.
And I would take it apart into as many pieces as I possibly could,
Yep.
and then put it back together. I used to do that shit all the time.
Did you
That's
get
why
it back
we
together
still to
often?
this day, my mom doesn't have a snowblower.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I used to put it back together like a little screwed up though,
Yeah.
but then I'd figure stuff out from it.
Yeah, I'm going to
Absolutely.
tell you one thing though. Snowblowers are
Like how
they're a
else to
weird
blow
They're a
snow.
real weird thing. They're a real weird thing. I don't recommend taking apart that little box in the middle.
Yeah, with all the important labeled stuff.
Yep, that's where the blowing action really
Well,
takes place.
It's where it's like the drive
Yeah,
train
okay.
of it.
Oh, yeah.
So I really fucked that
That's
thing
the
up.
stuff that I think they probably just get pre-assembled too. Like no one knows how to make
There's a
an
lot
engine
of
like
there's
that.
a lot of shit like that. Like you can't replace. You used to be able to like overhaul a transmission.
Yeah,
like I
right.
used to be able to.
Right?
It was easy. They're not
Yeah.
bad. You just have to make sure you know where every little thing goes.
right.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like if you crack that thing open, you are never gonna put it back together. I don't care how fucking good you are.
Right.
Like it needs to go to the assembly factory where it was made.
Yeah.
And that's who rebuilds it.
Special tools.
Dude, through the ass.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I used to work on small engines, and those require a lot of pressing together.
Yeah.
Like you have to press the crankshaft together on a Ski-Doo snowmobile.
Oh, right.
So like shit like that, like you have to take it to somebody because it requires special shit.
Yeah.
You know. But there's more and more things like that where they're highly specialized, and all these hybrid cars.
Yeah.
Like there's probably only a few companies in the United States that make and service those the electric motors for those.
Well, then those batteries and those fucking things too. Those are a whole different deal.
Those are crazy, right?
Yeah, you can't work on your cars anymore. That's why I keep a 2005 minivan in my driveway.
Same. That's I
need a newer
honestly
car.
like. I gotta have something I can take it apart.
Yeah, man. I like being able to fix stuff.
I got cross-trained onto when I was working for a dealership. It was 2007, and it was like right when GM launched their hybrid program for like the Suburban and all their bigger trucks. So we were getting them, and they sent me for training. In the special toolkit, there was a 2x2 like this.
Right.
And it was 6 feet long, and one side had a leather strap on it. And it was like, I don't remember what it was pinned with, but it wasn't metal. And it was, you put the leather strap around your foot.
Oh, really?
And while you were working on the car,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
doing like the process to disconnect the battery,
Oh,
Because
okay.
if it grabbed you, that's how they could get you off of it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because 300 volts direct current,
Yeah.
like that is dead.
That's
You're
crazy.
Dead. You're dead. You're fucking dead.
Yeah.
Electricity is so fucking scary.
Yeah.
Electricity is crazy.
It is pretty scary. I get shocked from time to time.
I was going to say, you're a
working on stuff.
construction guy.
Yeah.
And by the way, Buck has the manliest garage of all my friends.
He's got a great little garage.
It's like a functioning wood shop. Yeah, I
I'm very
make wood
jealous of
tables
that.
and with my wife's cousin. Yeah, so it's a for real
It's
wood
dope.
shop. Yeah.
It's super dope. Do you make like? Do you ever do like you go get a piece of wood, like a fucking log, and you turn it into a table?
That's what we do actually.
Yeah?
Those live edge tables.
I
Yeah.
love those live edge tables.
Yeah.
Those are the coolest thing ever.
Dude, they're nice. They're fun to work with, and they look beautiful. It's like it's a little slice. I always feel bad though. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know, cutting down trees. I'm not necessarily a super fan of
they're coming down anyway.
deforesting and whatnot, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm like, that's a damn good looking table. You know, like, I do like being around the trees,
What's like? Did you
even
ever
covered in shellac.
Did you guys ever get
Holding
into
my dinner.
watching like those guys that go burl hunting?
Burl hunting?
Burl hunting.
You know what a burl is?
No.
It's like it's what they like to make tables and furniture out of burls.
Those
Okay.
logs they pull out of the fucking
They're like-
rivers and shit.
No, a burl is like a big bulbous part of like a certain variety of tree.
Okay.
And it's like really just massive and distorted. Let me see. I'll try to. I'm gonna pull you up a picture of it. What got you into woodworking and everything?
I grew up with just fixing the house and
Yeah.
just whatever.
Just it was like
my dad
something you did
always
with
did
your old
that,
man?
and like his dad. I actually have like a hammer that was like my great grandpa's, I guess, that my dad gave to me
Oh,
when I
wow.
first moved out of the house.
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a big symbolic like this is your great grandpa's hammer. It was like
Yeah.
here's a set of tools you're gonna need if you're gonna go live on your own.
Well, that's cool.
And then, like, over time, I figured out, he's like, oh, yeah, that used to belong to your great-grandpa or whatever. So that's how I originally got into it. And, like, we're in Lima, Ohio. That's just, like, everybody just does that. Like, all my friends do that. Like,
Right.
everyone's just working on shit all the time. And then I got out of high school, and I went to work in a lumber mill for, like, 3 years.
Those are tree burls.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, those big, lumpy.
Yeah.
I don't really see too many of those. It's like
No.
it's like a tumor on a tree or
Yeah,
something.
that's like a Pacific Northwest thing. But when you cut them, like they look like shit like that.
Oh, shit, with all the swirls and
Yeah.
Okay.
spiral patterns.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's
cool.
amazing, yeah.
They're super duper cool, and they make really really interesting furniture. Like
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Look at
What if
that.
that's like what a biopsy looks
That's
like on
pretty-
a tumor or some shit too?
right?
Same growing pattern.
Just
Yeah.
cells not giving a
Yeah,
fuck.
right. They're like, "Mom, if we could make a table out of this sliver of tumor." Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, we're at 6. Bucky, Broken Drift. Where's the next thing gonna be at?
Broken Drift has. We're doing Bingo and Brews at the House of Comedy on February 20th.
Oh, hey, I'm a
Monthly
cast member
show
of
with
that.
Bill Laskowski.
I love
Ew.
that show.
Matt Walker come out. and
Honestly, that's my favorite show.
I
Like,
love that show.
do it, man. Yeah,
I wanted
you're
to talk
great at
about.
it.
I wanted
one
to
of my
bring up
favorites.
Bringos and Brews because that's my favorite show to do.
Yeah,
bar
it's
none.
fun, man.
It's so fun.
We got it structured like with some sound effects and so like more like a game show than a stand-up show now.
That's
yeah.
exactly what it is. It's like you get to be your own version of a game show host, kinda.
Yeah.
But in the guys of Bingo.
Yeah, it's so much fun to do.
Yeah.
And it's like just talking back and forth with people and getting to be funny on the spot like that.
Right, giving out some beers and prizes and
Dude,
whatnot.
it's so
People have a good
it's
time.
Such an enjoyable show. Definitely get to that. What is it? February 20th is the next one.
The 20th, I believe,
Fuck
is the
yeah.
next one. Yeah.
House of
February
Comedy.
20th, House of Comedy in lovely Scottsdale, Arizona.
It's actually Phoenix.
Is it actually
Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Just this
Yeah.
side of the border?
All
Yeah.
right, well, lovely North Phoenix, Arizona.
North Phoenix.
North Phoenix.
Yeah. People
on
make
High
that
Street.
distinction
High
up there,
Street.
though. I noticed they're like, "Hey, don't treat us like we're in Scottsdale."
Actually, they do.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
A lot of people go into that club and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to take some shots at Scottsdale," and they're like, "Fully on board. We're not in Scottsdale."
Yeah. this is not Scottsdale. Thank you.
If anything, I'm a little offended. You're treating me like I'm in. He's one of the producers of the Cleveland Comedy Festival.
Oh, okay.
And so we have started a show in Lima, Ohio, that we run every 6 months now in downtown Lima.
Yeah.
Which is, like
How big is Lima?
Lima's like I'm gonna say like 35 to 40,000 people somewhere in there.
That's
yeah,
not that small.
so it's a city, you
It's
know.
a city.
But there's no highway that cuts across it. There's one that touches the east edge of town, and you could drive across Lima in like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
like just on surface roads.
Okay.
I grew up like
Sounds like a
probably
nice
4
little
blocks
town.
from a cornfield, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But it was awesome, and you know, so I'm like, I always stayed attached to home. I always loved Lima, and so we were like, we should do a show there, and we've been talking about it, and then we started getting headliners. We'll actually bring in a regional headliner from
nice.
like
Oh, that's cool.
Chicago or Detroit or Indianapolis or somewhere around
I mean,
there.
you have a deep talent pool to pull
Yeah,
from in
yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah, and so,
So why not?
I try to get back to Ohio as much as I can and perform and hang out with the comedians on the scene there. And
That's real cool.
yeah, we're
awesome.
doing that February 9th. It'll be our 3rd one, and we've been selling them out. Every one that we've done, we've sold out. So
Fuck yeah.
that people love the shit. So
That's
yeah, dude.
great.
great.
Shout out to Lima, Ohio
dude.
for being down with the Yuck Yucks.
Beantown, yeah, the bean.
It is the bean. Did they get mad at Chicago for having like the giant? They kind of have because
They got that cool bean up there, the
they're-
reflective one.
Yeah, they should have that in Lima.
Yeah, well, they got
Do they have a
something
Lima
similar.
bean?
So what they have in Lima is they have a 6 foot tall anthropomorphic Lima bean.
Yeah.
There's a red cap named Beanie.
Is it just a dude running around?
Yeah, absolutely. But
They pay a dude.
very charismatic.
They
It's a
pay
hell
a
of
dude to run around as Lima as what's his?
You'll
what's
see him
his
out
name?
at events and stuff. Beanie, the Lima bean.
That's the
the
town
mascot.
mascot?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do they actually grow lima beans in Lima?
Yeah, we grow everything there. Yeah,
Do we
They
grow
don't-
everything there?
we grow
Wouldn't
whatever
that
you
be
need
funny
there.
if
You
that was
said
like their
corn.
number 2 cash crop?
Yeah.
Or
You know, honestly, I don't remember eating a lot of lima beans. You know, they're not like popular.
Hey, I like lima
It's like
beans.
the only-
Okay,
it's like, hey, it's
You
pronounced
do-
like the bean.
you do lima beans right. Like they're all right. They're good. I fuck
How,
with
how do you do lima beans
Yeah.
right?
You
What's
put
the
them with
recipe?
something else.
Yeah, cover them in bacon and
definitely
yeah.
bacon is involved.
You
Bacon's your
wrap
friend.
each bean in an entire thing of bacon.
Yeah.
And that's how you do lima beans.
That's how you do it. That, or you mainline them.
Mainlining lima beans?
Why not?
Fuck.
oh yeah, mash
not?
them down, refry them.
All right, Buck Newman. Thank you so much for doing the pod.
Yes, it's been a
was lot-
blast.
This
Thanks
was
for
a lot
coming
of
by,
fun.
buddy.
Dude, thanks for having
Had a
me.
great
Yeah.
time. Guys, you can catch me jerking off on a corner somewhere.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yep. You can catch Matt just.
Watching from the other corner.
Yep. Because he's a voyeur.
Saying you'll never catch me.
We love you. Have a good night.
Later.